necessity for running backs. To what degree have all your running backs been able to do that, create yards kind of after contact, add contact?
It's been pretty good at it. That's the point about these guys. I've got a group that's very capable of making you miss in the open field. I've got more than one. I've got 4, actually 5. You put Brandon Bolden in it, but the 4 that are playing, they all have a chance. They will have the ability to make something happen in space, and you look for that, and those guys all have it. So we try to take advantage of it. Anytime you'll give us a shot to be one-on-one in the open field, yeah, we're going to try to take a shot at you. They've done a good job with that. We're very fortunate with that.
The way you're working in your backs who are good pass catchers into the passing game, because everything seems like ultimately it's cyclical. Do you think eventually defenses are going to start doubling those guys more? Or
not as we stay as balanced as we should. They can't. I mean, as long as Rob's out there,
right?
You know, and Dola, it's kind of hard to say you're going to double that guy coming out of the backfield. Who's only, just think about it now, he's only running a 4 or 5 yard route.
Sure.
Right? Whereas Dola and Gronk are down the field. You're not going to give that up.
Right.
But you'll be willing maybe to give up that 4 yard throw, saying we're going to come up and tackle that guy. That's where those guys come in factor. That's where they become big. They got to make something happen with the ball in their hands. And the guy that does that for us gives us a chance to, you know, make some plays.
It seems like a lot of teams are doing that. So do you think it, you know?
Yes, it's a problem. It's a problem for the defense. It's a problem.
Well, do you think it'll ever change? You know, sometimes it seems like just the running back position as a whole doesn't always get a ton of credit for being something that powers offenses. Do you think that the more that gets used, that might change, just perception-wise?
I don't know if perception-wise it's going to change that much. That's a hard one to call.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to call. I think the whole thing with the running backs, when you got guys on the outside that are real threats, and you got a tight end that's a threat, that back can become a factor for you because it's hard to stay in tune with him.
Sure.
And you're thinking he's the one guy that's not going that far down the field before he catches the ball. Whereas Gronk, Dola, and all those guys, and Cookie, you know, they're down the field. That's the part. You got to keep those guys from getting yards, and that's what makes it better for the backs.